There was a time when I drank coffee. Lots of it. That time is long gone. I switched because I like to keep up with the new trend. Energy, taste, power. What else do you need? For me, it's enough. Hell energy.
Guys, if sleepy Bruce Willis uses your energy drink, it doesn't work. I don't know what else to say. Alright kids, today's video is actually a request from a fan who wanted me to talk about this movie, Acts of Violence. I assume the Bruce Willis one was what he meant, but if you meant the German one or the film noir one, please leave me a comment telling me how much of an idiot I am. Honestly, I was getting kind of tired of talking about Willis at this point. I feel like I've said all there is to be said about how low his career has sunk and how lazy he has become. But I am to please, so here we go. The movie opens with an action scene in which a couple of detectives, Willis being one of them, go to bust a human trafficking operation. Their SWAT team fails to show up, so Willis, being a dirty cop who doesn't play by the rules, recruits a couple of on-duty cops to do the job, who are just loaded with tons of firepower in their trunks for some reason. They bust in, and the action scene starts, and if you follow this show at all, you won't be surprised to learn that Willis' stunt double, Stuart F. Wilson, has most of the screen time. Yeah, you've heard that before, haven't you? Let's make it interesting this time and play a game. Let's see if we can guess the number of shots in this scene, in this one scene that Willis uses his stunt double in, shall we? Anyway, they kill all the sex traffickers and Willis finds out that he's too late for one victim. He then utters a phrase that sums up his post-2010 career a lot better than I ever could.
Where's the family?
Mom's in Cincinnati.
You want me to make the call?
I'll do it.
You okay?
I'm tired.
Go back out if you need to. I'll finish up here.
No. I'm tired of this.
Well, I could end the review here, couldn't I? So cut to our real main characters in the film, since Willis is only in this for like 15 minutes like he always is. You have PTSD-ridden veteran Declan, who's his brother Brandon, his sister Mia, and her fiancé Roman. They're all together to get ready for the big wedding between the last two. When the men are at a strip club for Roman's bachelor party, because it's a grindstone movie and all grindstone movies need a strip club scene for some reason, Mia is kidnapped by the sex traffickers from earlier, where she is drugged and locked away in a cement room, where she has to deal with the constant threat of being raped and or murdered. Jeez, submerge themselves. What did I ever do to you for you to recommend this to me? This is nasty. So they go see Detective Bruce about the situation. You get the scene that's in every vigilante movie in which the police tell the worried family members that they need to sit back and let the police do their job. Here's where the movie starts getting kind of silly. One scene after meeting Bruce Willis. One scene, probably in the movie's timeline, an hour after meeting him. Declan decides it's time for them to take the law into their own hands. This isn't out of character for him, as the movie portrays him as something of a hothead maniac, but the other guys for some reason decided to go along with this without even giving the police even 24 hours to do their job. At least with the classic original Death Wish, a lot of time had passed before Charlie Bronson decided to clean up the streets himself. Even the Eli Roth remake had the sense to have Bruce Willis learn that the police department is full of incompetent jerks before he went on this killing spree. Oh yeah, I promised you guys a review for that one, didn't I? Okay, here we go. Death Wish 2018 is competent but formulaic. Bruce Willis is not terrible in it. I didn't see any obvious stunt doubles. It's not boring, but it's generic, and you'll forget it as soon as it's over. 5 out of 10. I'm not sure why the other two seemingly reasonable guys decided they were going to go all Boondock Saints all of a sudden. Their investigation proves successful, and they find the warehouse where the women are being held, and there's a big shootout. It turns out, though, that the worst acting in the film is not from Bruce Willis, but from this guy who's supposed to be dead. Good job, buddy. While they do find the killers, they are unsuccessful in rescuing their sister, as she was not in her cell at the time of the raid. Along the way, though, Brandon's wife is killed because, not to sound like a social justice warrior here, this movie doesn't like women very much. Anyway, the next day, the bad guys load up the women into boxes to ship them out, and the men come back and pick them off really easily. Oh hey, Bruce Willis has gotten tired of bureaucratic red tape and has decided to be a vigilante too. Yay, Mia is saved. Brandon's wife is still dead and everyone is happy. The end. This movie was bad in that usual grindstone way, of course, but it had some extra stuff that makes me a little, concerned. Yeah, there's a treatment of women I mentioned earlier, but it has to do with Declan's character arc. At the beginning, he's a frustrated, depressed, lonely man who can't handle social interactions due to his PTSD. But once he starts killing people, he's back to his old self. The void in his life has been filled. He's found his place in the world. As a murderer. Yeah, overall this movie was nasty and boring and poorly acted. I don't recommend this one at all. I give it a 2 out of 10.